Acting Ekurhuleni Mayor Jongizizwe Dlabathi will meet residents in Reiger Park following a mass shooting that claimed 6 lives and left 3 injured this past weekend. Dlabathi is also expected to visit the grieving families. Police say the motive for the shooting is unknown. For more on the story, we're bringing SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa. Good afternoon to you, Mbalenhle. We know that tensions have been high since this attack occurred at the weekend. The acting mayor's visit comes at a time where community members are calling for stronger policing and want some sort of action. Talk to us about what's happening on the ground.
Well, certainly the acting mayor has arrived in Reiger Park, and when he arrived at the police station where he received a report back from the station commander there. And we also got an opportunity to speak to the station commander, who expressed concern over the challenges that residents have also raised pertaining to a lack of resources, like a lack of vehicles or insufficient vehicles, and also the fact that they don't have holding cells, and saying that they have brought these issues to the attention of the National Police Commissioner, who has made a commitment to elevate these challenges to try and resolve them. But it would seem as though there are still no leads at the moment. The station commander indicating that there are conflicting statements that have been made so far. But we have been crisscrossing parts of Reiger Park so far. The acting mayor has visited 3 family households where they have been speaking to the grieving families. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. What has been the mood? Obviously this is a very difficult time for the families, but how has the reception been from those that you have now visited and been speaking to?
Yeah, no, thank you very much for the opportunity. And I must say from the onset that the mood is that of being sad. The mood is that, of a painful moment that families are going through. Quite difficult really to imagine, the pain and the hardship that they are enduring. But I must also equally say that the fact that, ourselves as public representatives, collectively, we came and expressed our message of sincere condolences, wishing them strength, so that they do appreciate that they are not going through this difficult moment alone. We too, as public representatives, government and the society at large, we are here to give them support. And I can say without a doubt partly that to some families they feel comforted and they appreciate the support. We are of course mindful of the fact that this is going to take some time for the families to heal. For losing your loved one, it's not really an easy thing, especially in the manner in which they've lost them. And we continue to assure them that as public representatives, we urge our law enforcement to increase the momentum and all the necessary efforts to deal with the situation of drugs, gangsterism, and criminality at large, because we can't afford a society that lives in fear, a society that does not have a sense of safety. And prevention is better than cure, as I earlier indicated. Now, I hope that the challenges that the station commander has raised as it relates to resource and capacity, the relevant ministry will hit the call and intervene.
Now, we understand that the challenges that exist here, which pertain to possible gangsterism as well as drug abuse, are long-standing issues. Are there any measures that have been put in place to try and assist on the part of the municipality, given that, you do oversee, this does fall under the municipality?
As I said earlier, this is a whole of government and the society. It cannot be squarely put on SAPS, neither EMPD. What we are calling for is better collaboration, more resources of those that are supposed to carry the responsibility. And of course, on a regular basis, we expect law enforcement to tackle gangsterism, to tackle the issue of drugs. Let me tell you, if the demand is high for drugs, you are giving rise to the existence of gangsterism. So we do need to push back on the issues of drugs and of course criminality that propels some to continue to do it.
And how do you do that? Do you then bring in social development to come and assist in that regard?
The station commander did allude to that, that part of the support that is required is precisely social development, because we have young people who are hooked into drugs and they need to be assisted in that regard. Hence, I'm saying the more we push back on the demand for drugs, the better in pushing back gangsterism, as well as the need to continue with the supply of drugs.
Some of the initiatives that you have outlined during the budget speech was that you'd be insourcing some of the services, and unemployment is also a huge driver of such actions. Will you also be looking into maybe hiring from such communities?
You know, building internal capacity or employing from the public sector point of view is not a panacea or a solution to deal with the issue of unemployment. I think the country should really look at its own education system, in that it builds a cohort of those that have the necessary skills, so that they don't rely in getting a job, but they can use their necessary skills to sustain their livelihood. We as a city, for instance, the executive mayor is on a serious drive to lure investors by creating a climate that is conducive for investment. So the more we bring in industrial businesses or investment, the better, so that we create working opportunities. But lastly, entrepreneurship should also form part of the broader response to unemployment and fighting poverty, because government alone will not solve the problem of unemployment.
Thank you. There you have it. That is the acting mayor, Jongizizwe Dlabathi, speaking to us. He is joined by the ward councillor as well as members of the provincial legislature and parliament who are out in the streets of Reiger Park visiting the grieving families who at this point have elected not to speak to the media after we had spoken to a few yesterday as well as this morning. For now, it is back to you in studio.
Mbalenhle, before we let you go, we have listened to the acting mayor talk about how there is a need for better collaboration and more resources. Talk to us about what's happening on the ground insofar as stability is concerned. Are you seeing a higher police presence, and what are community members saying?
Well, certainly the ward councillor that we spoke to early this morning, as you would know, we have been here since as early as 8 a.m. and we have been speaking to community members, including the ward councillor. And the ward councillor did confirm that there has been some stability that has been restored to a certain extent, and she has thanked the National Police Commissioner for coming forward and augmenting the resources that the police station obviously is so lacking in. There are more vehicles, EMPD vehicles are here, more investigators have also been brought in to ensure that the perpetrators are arrested and are brought to book. But at the moment there is high police visibility, even though the situation does remain tense, given that the police have not ruled out the fact that this might be a gang-related incident, which could essentially at some point, without really being speculating, but there are concerns that residents have raised about a possible second round or third round of the shootings, and the situation does remain tense, even though there has been some stability that has been restored to the area, given that there is high police visibility in the area.